Hi, I'm Rani, the Product Manager at People HR, and I want to talk to you today about this great new feature that we have, which allows your administrators in different locations to be able to manage their own settings for the People HR system. That's a bit of a mouthful. So, what am I talking about, and what problems is this feature going to solve for your company? Let's talk about an example here. Let's say you have 6 different locations across the world and you have your administrator based in Germany, and at the moment the UK based administrator is managing performances for that administrator based in Germany. Well, wouldn't it make sense for Germany to look after their own performance reviews? This is the flexibility that this feature is going to allow you. You will be able to say to that administrator in Germany, hey, here you go. You can start your own performance reviews, you can run them, and of course, we're based in the UK. We don't have to have any involvement in that. But also, there's many other different things that this feature will be solving. I mean, let's face it, if you're rolling out a system globally, you want everybody in those different locations to want to use the system. What better way than to say to them, hey, we're going to let you all have that power and control so you guys can look after it yourselves. It inspires a lot of confidence, and it gives those HR admins the power to be able to run their own system and feel like they're not having to go back to one centralised administrator for every single thing that they want to do. If you are rolling out this system globally, you can do it in phases. You can roll out one location, then you can roll out another location, and then of course you can go on to the next location. And Gareth is going to actually now take us through it, and he's going to show you how to use this feature.
Thank you, Rani. Let me show you how to set the system up for each of your locations. So we can set up a person within your system to have access to the system for that particular location. And how we do that is if we click on the person's name, go to the Edit Access Rights button and click on the Edit Rights button again. What you can see up at the top here is your company's locations departments. Now if we're selecting a certain location, what you can see on here, I can set that, and I can set other ones as well, so they may have access to 2 locations or just to 1. Well, I can set just 1 there, for example, and I can say, well, it includes specific employees, or I can say it excludes. Now, a good example where you may say exclude, for instance, is if you've got board members you don't want the regional administrator to see, well, we can select that person as well, and they wouldn't be able to see that person's record. Now, we have the button here called Admin Access, and if I click onto that, it gives the regional administrator or the proxy user the access to all the settings here, and we can go through each one and select, actually, do we want them to see all employee documents, do we want them to see salaries, for instance, and we can change those. The admin access button there just gives the highest default settings. But when we go scroll down this list, what you can also see is we have, as we get down to the bottom, the system settings for holiday and absence, holiday authorization, the accrual rules, performance, ATS, and the languages, localization. When I click on to save there, what that's essentially doing is giving this employee the access to those. If I was to log in as that employee, what you can see is we've got these extra tabs down the left-hand side, and when I click onto the settings option, you can see the access I have here. And you can see actually if I click on the location, I only have access to change the settings for that particular location. I can change things like the holiday year, the default public holiday template as well. We go through authorizations, and I can create authorization rules for my particular location. I can set accrual rules for my location. Again, you're thinking really, as Rani said earlier, you're allowing different people to set different rules for different locations, rather than having one person in one central location assigning the same rules for everyone. Again, we've got the performance, and you can only create, edit or delete for your location. However, you can see all the other performance reviews as well, and you can see this information, so if you need to use them for your own, then you can see it without breaking anything. ATS, again, we have access to the ATS settings, so that if you have a recruitment team, you may just give them access to the settings so they can set up their ATS. and use that without giving them full administrator access, or requiring a full administrator to change these things when they're not the person potentially using the system. And of course we've got the localization here, which means we can change the language for my particular location. I hope this is a good example of how to use the system. Just remember, think about the person you're going to give access to, think about what they need, think about what they don't need as well. That's as important as thinking about what they need.
Thank you, Gareth.
Thank you.
Hopefully now you've seen this video, you can go off and you can start using this great new feature. If you have any questions, of course, please don't hesitate to contact our support, but we also have help articles on help.peoplehr.com. Thank you. See you next time.